Hello everybody, my name is Chad. I'm the founder of conformtojesus.com. In this video, I want to discuss 4 tips for growing in your Christian blog. First and foremost, write consistently and write with quality and length in mind. Second, interact with other bloggers who agree and disagree with your worldview. Third, make it easy to share your content through social networks. And fourth, do not focus on how many people are visiting your website. So number 1, write consistently with quality and length in mind. That's right. When you punch those keys on a consistent basis, you are going to show Google Analytics and other SEO platforms that you are not a bot, but a real human being who has a passion for sharing the Christian worldview. Writing consistently is a start, but it's only the beginning. Not only do you need to write consistently, but you also need to put in the effort for your articles to be well researched, with, of course, quality and length in mind. According to HubSpot.com, it says for SEO, search engine optimization, that's what it stands for, the ideal blog post length should be between 2,100 and 2,400 words. HubSpot averaged the length of their 50 most read blog posts in 2019, which yielded an average word count of 2,330. Individual blog post lengths range from 330 to 5,500 words with a median length of 2,164. But the length of your articles are not the most important factor. When these SEO companies crawl through your website, they're looking for quality over quantity. Quality equals an increased search rankings, which equals an increase of your organic website traffic. Now, these analytic companies know that your consumers are not going to purchase from a brand that has poorly written content or something that hasn't been optimized for the benefit of the consumer. And also, if they notice spelling errors, grammar mistakes, or irrelevant information, they will flag those mistakes, and your website will have a difficult time making it to the top of Google, Yahoo, AOL, and other search engines. Number 2, I mentioned about interacting with bloggers who agree and disagree with your worldview. I cannot stress this tip enough. Christians and other religious groups, they tend to isolate themselves from the culture, and this type of tribalism is not healthy or beneficial for the spreading of the gospel of Christ. We are called to go into the whole world and preach the whole gospel to every creature. And this means that we should be interacting with both believers and non-believers. The Greek word passe is talking about every tribe, tongue, and nation in the scriptures. And so some of my greatest conversations have been with skeptics. Just a few years ago, there was a blogger who accused the Judeo-Christian God of being a chauvinist. I proceeded to give him several examples from the Bible of women who were heroes and highly esteemed, such as Deborah, the judge, the faithful Esther, Ruth, and of course trustworthy Mary of Magdalene, as well as many others. Additionally, I explained how God transcends socially constructed notions of gender. He is neither male nor female, but is described in both categories. In fact, the first part of God's name in Hebrew, Yah, is feminine, and the last part, Way, is masculine. Despite the evidence, the skeptic still kept his viewpoint. However, he softened a little bit and at least admitted that it was the religious traditions of this particular faith and not necessarily what the Bible teaches. Now, I hope that my conversation with that atheist will plant a seed and help grow and change his mind later on. Also, it's of benefit to the Christian to learn from other worldviews. So if you want to learn about Islam, talk to someone who practices that faith. If you want to understand what it means to be a Mormon, allow them inside your house and provide them hospitality. If an atheist desires to have a conversation with you, be open-minded and listen to what they have to say. Oftentimes, the best thing we can do is listen. Listen to what others have to say. You know the famous adage, no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Even better, St. Francis of Assisi, he was an early church father, and he said, preach the gospel at all times. If necessary, use words. Number 3, make it easy to share your content through social networks. In my opinion, this is the least important tip to grow your Christian blog, but it is one of the most necessary tips. You can have great content, you can have great information, but if no one has access to reading it, what good is that? It's only going to sit there in the void and collect virtual dust. So you need to have a plan here. You need to be able to link your website to other profiles like your Twitter, your Facebook, your Instagram, all those. So you need to utilize social media. For instance, whenever you post a blog, make sure to share it across your platforms. I mentioned YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, all those websites, all those social networks. And to help more people view it, use hashtags, use pictures, and catchy titles. You can also use, if you have a WordPress account, you can sign up to Anchor FM for free, and you can convert your blogs into audio format, to podcasts. Currently, Anchor is being streamed by Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, and Breaker. So the sky is the limit. Finally, it's vital that you interact with other fellow bloggers. They need to know that you care about what they're also writing. If you ignore them, they will be less likely to engage with the posts that you are creating and share them with their sphere of influence. Plus, reading other bloggers will give you good ideas to write for your next amazing blog post. Number 4, do not focus on how many people are visiting your website. You heard me, believe me, I am preaching to the choir here, and I struggle with this issue more than anyone else, and I think it has stunted my blog the most. Here's the reason why. When you focus on numbers, you will get discouraged. When discouragement sets in, you will no longer feel motivated. And when motivation has waned, you stop writing. When you stop writing, you fail the first tip. Writing consistently with quality and length in mind. So you see, this last tip leads back to the beginning. They all ebb and flow. These tips are interrelated. So let me just explain briefly. When you write consistently, people will comment on your blogs. The more people comment, the more likely you will have both fans and critics, which will cause you to interact with all types of bloggers. You see how that all fits in? So the more fans and critics you have, the more plausible your posts will become viral. And that's because people will share your content on their own social media platforms. So I hope this was very helpful for you. I hope that you are encouraged that you want to start a blog. These are the 4 tips that I would provide for you. I hope that everything works out, and if you have any questions, feel free to write to me at conformtojesus.com. We have an about page and a page where you can reach out to us. Thank you so much, and have a blessed day.